Welcome back, everybody. Oh my gosh, game one, best out of three, Team Royalty. Okay, and that is Team Royalty, North on that gadget, 100 Thieves 6 on that howitzer, Seismic on the Fang Mao, Dare with the steel, Pablo on that Murdoch, and Red Dojo, Natty with the Kira, Akram on the Decker, Blue Jay on the Richter, Wangle, Sevrog, Atomic, and Bulika. Oh my gosh, what a game. Lake and Toasty. Lake, what are your thoughts with this game one so far?
Well, I guess I first gotta say six mid, like what's going on? Seismic jungle, what's going on? Are they changing? I did hear some whispers in the wind. I did see six running mid in competitive nights, so I'm very shocked. I didn't think they'd pull it out this tournament. I thought maybe it was future, but to see them go right into it, I'm shocked. But then again, I've seen sixes Gideon, and I'm gonna put it up there. It could, maybe compete with Soul Reaper's Gideon. It's pretty good.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's a
so
very bold statement against
but
Soul Reaper's Gideon.
yeah, I can see it. But what I have to say is, I'm not gonna lie, Red Dojo, I thought they had him, but they had him in the first half, and then Royalty, I think, was the main difference, or the game decider was the macro. Royalty just knew the map better, they played the map better, and Red Dojo just did not respond accordingly. They stood around, watched them be Fangtooth instead of pushing the other side of the map. Not reacting or just sitting there watching and playing passive. And in a game like this, you can't play passive. You have to do something. If a team does something, you have to react accordingly, rather be on the other side of the map, taking a tower, taking an objective, putting pressure elsewhere.
Right. What do you think about that game one, Toasty?
I think Red Dojo had fantastic dual lane pressure. They were winning hard. Blue Jay was getting good ganks, but I think they just fell victim to what a lot of less experienced teams do. They fight too much. They don't farm enough. Eventually, they fall behind, and they just can no longer compete.
I completely agree. When I was watching that match, I was like, okay, first blood, Red Dojo. First Fangtooth, Red Dojo. But then all of a sudden, 6 and 5, 18 minutes in, 6 kills, goes to Red Dojo. And then we keep watching. First mini prime, Seismic on that Fang Mao, he got that mini prime. And then 25 minutes in, they have the Orb Prime. And then all of a sudden, they also have Primordial. That goes to Team Royalty. And then they're 9 and 12. What did Red Dojo do? Where did they go wrong? And what do they have to do for this next game in order to come back on top?
I think what Red Dojo, what they have to do, I think they played the early game extremely well. Like Blue Jay was making big plays in the dual lane and off lane, trying to create that space for their team to farm and take the lead. But even though he was getting ahead, say the lane partners, he was putting himself behind with the constant ganks and pressure. So if his dual lane or even solo lane or mid lane can't, take that lead and really put pressure on the map, he just falls further behind. And as you saw, Seismic was maybe level 15, the highest in the game as a jungler. It's pretty ridiculous. So he was constantly farming. I was pretty impressed. So
I think I was looking, like, everyone else was less than 100 CS, and then he was at 140 already. Like, this guy's a farming maniac, right? All right, so I know you want to see game two, so we're gonna go ahead and look at the draft. All right, Toasty, what do you think will be the bans from Red Dojo and Royalty? After we watch that game one, what are you thinking?
I don't think Royalty has anything to really worry about in terms of bans. They're probably going to stick with the Rampage or maybe the Decker. But they're actually going to ban the Howitzer, which is an interesting choice. But I guess I'm thinking they're looking to pick up Gideon here if Howitzer's off the table.
Okay, and then we have Steel ban from Red Dojo. Do you guys have any thoughts? Do you think 100 Thieves will still stick to mid lane? Lakin?
I'm not too sure. They might spice it up. Who knows? They may be trying things out. It could also be a bit of they think that they can beat Red Dojo no matter what, so they could be just trying new things out. I'm not too sure. But we'll see. Like, it maybe 6 will do the whole tournament as mid, but maybe they'll lose a game and they're like, let's change it up and put 6 jungle. And that's also like a kind of a mental warfare. It's like, we don't even know where their team's going. So what do we ban? Who do we know who's going where? Who's going what? I don't even know what's going on anymore, right? So
Exactly. I mean, if 100 Thieves is going to go on that mid lane, there's no reason for them to ban Kalari, right? And it looks like Royalty is going for that triple mage. Gideon, Gadget, Balaka. I'm assuming Balaka on that support. What do you think Red Dojo has to do to counter this triple mage threat, Toasty?
They need some backline diving, like Rampage. They need Feng Mao Kalari. They need to take out key like carries, and
Mm-hmm.
they need to snowball this into taking one mage out, two mages, because their front line right now is lacking on Royalty, and
Mm-hmm.
but their zone potential is huge.
And there goes the Kalari. Oh my gosh. I don't even know if 6 is now. Wait, does Seismic play Kalari? Or
We're
I have
gonna
no
I
find out.
idea.
have no idea. Never
Yeah.
seen it.
Oh my goodness. I am so excited for this matchup, but it looks like it's a very squishy team over on Royalty side. They've got Gideon, Gadget, Balaka, Kalari, and the Revenant. And then over on the Red Dojo side, we've got the Decker, the Sevrog, Rampage, Kira, and the Fae. Oh my goodness. What are you thinking, Lakin? What needs to happen for Red Dojo to come on top?
At least right now, I'm giving the draft straight to Red Dojo. I personally don't like Royalty's raft at all, so I think they're going to be up in that sense. Revenant is terrible into Rampage Sevrog. If Sevrog or Rampage can just get to the back line, which I think is they can do easily, but at the same time, Royalty does exert a lot of damage. So I think if they get to the late game with a lot of magic resist, and then they can just delete Revenant with just having the Sevrog or even the Rampage go on them, I think they can pull through. And then I want them to be a lot more cleaner in the later stages of the game with their macro decisions and responding fast when Royalty decides to do something. Either contest it or go elsewhere, because you have to do something. You can't sit by and just watch.
Right. There's so many damage dealers that we're seeing from Team Royalty right now. Toasty, any thoughts on the Red Dojo team comp versus Team Royalty? Are you a big fan of how they have the Sevrog Rampage front line right now?
I think it's a fantastic front line. They can get onto their backline mages real easy, but I think they're leaving their carries like Kira and Faye exposed to Kalari, who can just one-shot delete them. So they need to be very careful about their positioning. They need to have good ward coverage so Kalari doesn't get free ganks, and they need to play extra safe.
I completely agree with that. Kalari is a menace to society and very annoying to play against, especially a very good Kalari. He knows how to kind of stalk the carries, right? But I know you want to see this game too. I'm very excited about this next game. Any other thoughts that I might have missed, Lakin?
I think Toasty touched on it. Like Kalari could be the game changer if they are diving the Rev. What is the Kalari doing? So they need to make sure they at least have Decker or another tank maybe in the back line to peel off that Kalari and keep that Kalari in check. If that Kalari does not snowball out of control, it is 100% manageable in the late game. But if she starts picking up early kills, that Kalari will run the game away.
Toasty, any thoughts on how they can counter this Kalari right here?
I'm thinking Kalari is most likely going to buy Nex. She's going to lack a CC cleanse, so if they save Faye out for the right moment and they ult Kalari and they get her out of the team fight immediately, it'd be a worthwhile trade because then they don't have to worry about their backlines at all.
Right. Oh my goodness. So Gideon, Gadget, Balaka, Kalari, and Revenant. And then basically we have the Decker, the Kira, and the Fae as food. That I don't even know where to begin. Any other thoughts, Toasty, on that team comp there?
I think if Dojo is even slightly out of position, the triple mages, the Belka knock up into the crazy mage burst damage will just delete anybody on their team. So I think positioning is absolutely key in this for them. Like I said, they got to have the good ward coverage and they got to know where Kalari is at all times.
Right, and I think they got to use that strong CC as well on top of that positioning in order to counter that Kalari.
Yes, exactly.
Going back, so we know that Pablo will be on that ADC. Dare will be the support. Seismic, question mark. Has he ever played mid lane before, Liquidator?
Seismic.
Clary mid?
Seismic?
Seismic has played mid. He's known
Yeah.
as the mid laner.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, he's the main mid laner for Royalty.
Right.
But I guess he was maybe he's looking away. Maybe he's not enjoying mid as much. I'm not too sure internally how the team is, deciding things. But at the same
Right.
time, I know Royalty's actually very similar to Profs, as they like to have fun, mix things
Yes.
up.
Yeah.
So they're very chill guys just to talk to. So maybe they're trying things out,
Yeah.
seeing if it works, and if it doesn't, maybe they go back. Like I said, this gives them that I like to call it like a little warfare. You don't know where they're going. You don't know who we're banning. Like people know, for
It's
example,
a mind game.
yeah, it's a mind game.
Right?
It's a mind game
It's
at
a
the end of the
mind game.
day.
Keeping it spicy. All right. We want to watch. I want to watch. Let's go ahead and take it away to our casters.
Hello, we are back. Once again, I am Lance. This is F6, and I want to start by talking about the fact that it looks like Atomic is caught not wearing green on St. Patrick's Day with the way that they are pinching his champion pool here, leaving him nobody to pick but the Fae.
Man, my man could not catch water at a lake right now. It looks like Atomic. They are targeting this man's mid-game play so much right now. I don't know if they're doing it on purpose, but they sure are doing a good job of getting this man out here. Now he's stuck with the Fae, and like our dog says, that's pretty much food for Kalari at this point. So they're gonna have to play their positions right, especially with that cure as well. They do have some tanky boys, but man, it's gonna be rough for them that mid lane.
It is. They are going to have to use that Gilbert Arenas range that they have with the Decker, with the rocks coming out of Rampage. Going to have to be hitting them from 3/4 court down there, trying to get those long range engages here if they're going to want to be able to knock these super squishy members of the team out early for Royalty. Would like to see Red Dojo be able to focus all of their people onto one person at a time, take them down systematically, one person, then the next person, then the next person. Whoever they can blow up as fast as they can is what I would like to see them do here. But man, if this gets rolling on the side of Royalty, Red Dojo is in for a rainy day at the dojo, I guess. I was trying to think of a synonym for dojo and couldn't think of a good one off the top. At the gym, sure. It not looking great for them if they get rolling. If anybody remembers our group play, Hunter T6, it wasn't shown on camera. He made a team rage quit with his Kalari. A player just straight up said, "I am not participating in the rest of this event." That was terrible. They had to sub him out for the rest of the day, and that is not an exaggeration. So hopefully that doesn't get rolling. If you're a Red Dojo fan, if you're a Royalty fan like a lot of us out here are, you're gonna want to see Hunter T6 on the Kalari. Maybe we're gonna get that Lakeinator prediction. He said that the Gideon from Hunter T6 is absolutely nasty. This might be an opportunity for us to see that it is probably the gadget into the Sevarog once again over there for North and Wengle to tangle about. So gonna be an interesting match to see, as it is two very conflicting styles from each team.
Yeah, I think for Red Dojo, they're gonna have to rotate early on. They're gonna have to sacrifice maybe a T1 or two. Make sure they're at these objectives. Make sure they're able to secure the side of the map that they need to. If it means bringing over the offlaner, bringing over the duo lane, whatever they need to do, they need to do something that's not standard to play against Team Royalty, because they were doing fine before, but they were not able to get these objectives. So I think that's what they need to focus on in this matchup.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Definitely going to need to see better, team cohesion for Team Dojo as well. Got to fight as one, act like Voltron, come together, be stronger like the Wu-Tang Clan. Let's see if the Wu-Tang style is going to be enough for Red Dojo in this game.
Right, it's definitely a stronger together kind of mentality that they need to go together with this here.
Right, and for any of you solo queue players out there listening in right now, that should be your mentality in MOBAs just in general. It is a 5v5 game. You are not going to carry them by yourself, unless Soul Reaper's listening right now. He might be able to do it, but we'll see about the rest of you.
I mean, sometimes you just gotta let them cook, but not all the time.
Yeah, I just hope I get into lobbies with Lakeinator. Then I know I get easy dubs. Put him on the countess, take it down, and just wait for 20-30 minutes, and he'll carry me to victory. I know it.
Yeah, it's all bad.
We should be getting into these into the game soon, really quick. Just waiting for that replay to pop up for us. F6, who you think is gonna be able to take this game? Is Royalty gonna move to our semifinals, or is Red Dojo going to be able to get a little bit of redemption?
I think Red Dojo is gonna take the second game. I feel like they are gonna learn from their mistakes from last match. Knowing them pretty well, they do tend to go in, look at what they need to do better, and they usually tend to fix it the second time around. So hopefully they're able to do that again today. So I think Red Dojo could pull off the second one here to bring us into game 3.
Right. And they cannot do my prediction of the gentleman's sweep if they do not win this game. So I'm going to need it from them.
Yeah, they're gonna need to pull something. Just pull out right now. Get this man Lance's prediction for the day.
It's time, boys. Let's do it. So we should be getting in here in just a quick second. Don't really have a whole lot more to talk about game-wise. I do want to just take a second to thank all of you guys for coming out and supporting us. If you like this content, we do it twice a month. Sometimes a little bit more than that, sometimes a little bit less, a little bit of variety streams sometimes as well. So make sure you're hitting that follow button, hitting that subscribe button. We've got a YouTube channel, very active Twitter as well, where we run polls about predictions for the entirety of our brackets. You're going to be able to see them all day, be able to vote. They'll be updated for our semifinals. They'll be updated for our finals. Go in there, let your voice be heard. We are at PredPCC on Twitter.
Go ahead, hit that follow button. Make sure you guys are here. And then everything that you guys do, thank you again. 240 of you guys were here last night, I checked. And we are live into this broadcast. We're not at 3 minutes this time. We're only at 40. So we're at it right now. Pablo's just kind of checking there, peeking the river wall.
So I was a big Revenant enjoyer. I have played him since this little last patch came out where they took a lot of that range off of his Q. And let me tell you, from a high gold low plat player's perspective, it feels awful. I do not like it. Feel like I cannot just one shot somebody from across the lane anymore. Gonna be interesting to see somebody with a lot better fingers than me in Pablo be able to play this, see what he's going to be able to do to make me regret thinking that Revenant's not a viable pick anymore. Gonna be interesting to see for sure. Do want to point out the absence of Drongo so far today. Haven't seen him picked, haven't seen him banned. No, there's a little bit of bug going on where he does a little bit less damage than he is supposed to. Still very surprised not to see the safest ADC being picked at all yet.
Yeah, especially in this comp, you would have thought instead of picking a Kira, you would have picked a Drongo here since he was on the board. Honestly, I think that would have been the best bet, especially with a Kalari there. But hey, whatever you're comfortable with and whatever you think your team could work with, as long as they could just find themselves together in these objectives, I think they got it. So we'll definitely have to see with that one.
Definitely gonna have to check it out. Would love to see if it is 6 or if it is seismic on that Kalari. If we get the chance really quick after the action subsides a little bit, just getting some early poke down. The same dual lane is coming out for Red Dojo. Had a little bit of early success with that favorable lane in the last game. Want to try it again, a little bit different. I do feel like Belica is one of the best picks into the Decker here, as she does have a little bit of an opportunity to catch her off guard, even though she is as elusive as Decker is. So good choice out of dares there. We do see that it is 100 T6 gonna be on that Kalari, so definitely keep your eyes on her while you can before she pushes her Q and you cannot see her anymore, as we're expecting to see that kill score on her side creep up quickly and rapidly.
Yeah, 136 on that Kalari is a dangerous and a bad man. So they need to watch out, especially in dual lane. Try not to push if they don't need to. Try and freeze as much as they can unless they are going for an objective, or that Kalari is going to capitalize on it every single time.
Right, and you see that we already have the duo lane moving on the side of Royalty here. Not super sure where they're going. Maybe just going out to get one of these deep wards. Gonna get a lot of damage on Akram with that obliterate. Dare's gonna catch a lacrosse ball to the face though. Support's pretty low here. A lot of health on Pablo though. He does seem to have this advantage over Natty here in the lane. A little bit of a CS lead as well, as it looks like he is currently up 1, but Kira is definitely a comfort pick here for Natty. Great face skin out there on Atomic. Blue Jay didn't want to spend the money on the Great Obsidian Rampage skin either. That is okay. We still love our Blue Jay too. Didn't get to showcase those great skins though. And just like that, it does appear as if 6 got first blood on that Kalari. Not quite sure who popped. It does look like it was Rampage actually. So that's going to be Blue Jay falling down. 6 is going to find him early within that jungle somewhere, able to get a little bit of a gold lead over here on to Team Royalty. As look, he is once again trying to get a little bit of pressure here. Gonna miss that dagger, not quite the damage you were looking to get over onto the Sevarog. Gonna be able to claim the Scion buff though.
Yeah, 6 is just out here bringing all the cheese on the map like a charcuterie board out here. He's just playing sneaky like a Kalari, and that's the advantage that Kalari has. But it looks like the Rampage is able to put some pressure over on the duo side here, jumping in, but nope, Seismic says nope, not today, and just dashes away. Big pop-up from Belka there to kind of just stop all that buffoonery going on.
Yeah, both of the duo laners for Red Dojo pretty low over there. Good opportunity for Seismic to go over there, hit a portal, get deep into it, and maybe pick one of them up. And Red Dojo needs to be careful about what is happening. Is already early in this game. Royalty has been setting the tone, setting that pressure. They got that first blood picked up, and that is not what Red Dojo needs. They need to slow this snowball from rolling down the hill. They need to be careful, because if this game gets out of hand, you may see a 20-21 minute game out of Royalty here, as the damage they're going to be able to produce with this comp is exponential.
Yeah, and with that, getting able just to zone off or just ult right above a big old team fight, and you have to now worry about above you and below you and next to you, they just have everything in their favor. So they want to look to stop the snowball from 100 Thieves 6, shut him down, stop his rotation. They need to put a lot more wards up on the map to make sure they know where he is at all times.
Yep, need to be very smart about where they're taking team fights as well. Don't want to get black holed into Tesla Dome. That is going to be too much magic damage for anybody to be able to withstand if Royalties can get a good team fight off in here in a good position here. So once again, we see the Gadget just being a lane bully in comparison to that Sevarog, just choking him out there, making it so he can't get those Pringle stacks up early, making it so that we delay that. Still saw Wangle hit the 120 stack mark around the 17-minute game, a little bit below the pro pace that we normally see Wangle playing at, even though he is in his off lane here. We got Blue Jay peeking around the side here. Not quite sure if Pablo saw him there. He may have been stepping on a ward, may just be really good intuition coming out of Pablo here, as Wangle once again needs to be careful as well.
Yeah, North is just putting on the pressure, and he just got 6. So Wangle has to watch out, because that Tesla Dome is going to hurt if he ever gets stuck in there or rooted.
And North has a 2-level advantage in lane right now over this Sevarog. Already has access to that ultimate, while Wangle is only sitting at level 4 right now. So really early lead coming out, and a big black hole is going to come. Is that going to be enough? It is. Natty is going to fall. Looks like Blue Jay is going to fall as well, so that should be a double kill. Coming over onto Seismic, exactly the early pressure that they are looking for. Hit 6 and hit that immediate roam. Actually, it looks like Pablo Wazowski is going to be the one to pick them up. That is not what you want to see if you are Red Dojo, as there are very few carries that scale as strongly as the Revenant does. Really only Sparrow is the competition there. No Sparrow in this game. Don't want to let a Revenant hit late game mode early game here.
Yeah, you don't want to give Revenant too much of a lead here, because his 4th shot is just going to start to look like he just one-shot you for no apparent reason. So they have to be a little bit more careful here. Like I was saying, they have to pick their team fights very well, and right there just caught themselves out of position, getting able to capitalize them in their 3rd with a big Gideon ult coming off the rooftop to be able to just lock them down, and then Kalari there to secure the last kill on that.
Yeah. It does look like we got a good roam out of Atomic, going to the other side of the map, moving over to his right and picking up North on the Gadget while there was that big party popping off the other direction. Faye knows she can't keep up with the pace of the Gideon roam, so what do? You go the other direction, able to answer a little bit of pressure, but the last time I checked, 2 is a bigger number than 1. Royalty will definitely take that trade.
Yes, they still give some merit for Red Dojo though, because they do get the Sev a little bit back into the game here with the pressure that they just alleviated from the Gadget dying there, and kind of getting that little bit of shutdown on North. So if he can just get that Sevarog back up little by little, they can get themselves back into this game, I think.
We hope to see it, and we do have 6 on both of the carries. Both supports still sitting at level 5, probably both going to transition into having their ultimates during this wave right here. It'll be interesting to see who is going to get it first. Looks like it's probably going to be Royalty with that aggression that we saw pop out. These 2 minions should be enough for Dare to get it, as we see Ox still sitting on 5. Blue Jay is looking around, clearing a ward over here on this side of the map, seeing if he can creep in here, but that is going to mean that he has been spotted. Still no ultimates out from the supports quite yet, and Blue Jay is just going to go back to farming. Let this be a handshake over here.
Yeah, I think Blue Jay at this point, he needs to kind of focus a little bit more on farming. Hopefully Aku and Ian or Natty can just set the wave up and just kind of freeze in front of their tower. Let the Rampage get up a little bit more on his farm for him to be able to be a little bit more influential in this game. Because right now he's down on 2 kills. He kind of just needs to go out there, farm, put a little bit of pressure on the Kari in her jungle since she's roaming a lot. Especially look, they're going for the mini prime now, and it doesn't even look like anybody's gonna be able to answer it with the Sevarog backed up Rampage on the other side of the map. But looks like a free mini prime for them as well. Not good for Red Dojo.
Just like the story from last game, just uncontested, free objectives going over to the side of Team Royalty. They're putting their players on the right side of the map. They're moving them in as groups, and it looks like this Faye may be in a little bit of trouble as well. Gonna have to blink to get out of the black hole. Very good decision out of Atomic, as he was definitely dead if Kalari was gonna get onto him as well right there. Gonna hit a little bit of a disrespectful lazy back out of Blue Jay there, but is gonna be able to finish that, get back into his base. And we do have the mini prime on to this Kalari. A whole bunch of damage going to be coming out. Look for 6 to get into lanes, help pressure them, take down even more of these towers, as the first brick bounty has already been claimed from them in the off lane. And Atomic's in a little bit of a bad position here, and here is Seismic, and 6 is there as well. And just like that, they are going to get popped. The fly trap's going to come down, not enough to pull Seismic into the tower. There was no follow-up damage there anyways, and that is just going to be a clean kill for Royalty, picking up Atomic on the Faye.
Yeah, with the Faye blink down, she doesn't have the mobility to kind of just stick back there, or the CC unless she has her ult. Gideon just kind of just pushed D, running at her with the Kalari nearby. That's just GG's there. And it looks like 6 is back on another gank over on the offlane side of things. I don't even think this man is really even trying to farm too much. He's just out there just trying to get those numbers up on his kill feed.
Yeah, and it is gonna be, very hard for Red Dojo to stop this bleeding, as we talked about before, as this damage starts to ramp up for the side of Royalty. With this composition that they have, there is a spot where it just becomes there's nothing you can do. It doesn't matter what your front line is like. If they get far enough ahead of you, they're just gonna mow it down. It's not gonna matter they don't have a tank, because every single person on Team Royalties has kill pressure on every single member of Red Dojo right now, and it's looking like it's going to continue that way throughout most of this game. Even their support, Dare, can do so much damage on Belica. She is so impactful in team fights. She gets a knockup onto your ADC. She can 100 to 0 him by herself.
Yeah, and that's
6 is caught out of position here. Gonna have to hit a double jump to see if he can survive, and it looks like he is going to do it, as I saw his health bar start to fall low. Maybe I was looking the wrong way, and that was Atomic's falling low, because I do see that he is in spectator mode right now. 10 seconds before he is going to pop back up. That is the second time I have given Atomic credit for a kill where he is the one who got killed. Good ult is going to try to come out of Yatan there. Pablo's going to hit a very good ult in order to keep himself safe from that Kira ult, keep himself alive. Going to be able to pick that Decker up, but is going to fall himself too. Blue Jay is running for his life right now at just a sliver health. Got to avoid that super sneaky Kalari, as the death mark will kill him. Derek Hare is going to go down as well, so that should be 2 kills over for Yatan, but he's going to get caught by the speed gate and the Tesla Dome. North is going to pick him up in a trade back the other direction, but a little bit of gold starting to funnel into Red Dojo's pockets, and this is what they need if they're going to be able to come back into this game.
Yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate for Natty there. He was able to get that double kill to get him a little bit more back into the game with this rev, but the big rotation from North from the other side of the world there, just to be able to get that speed gate trap down on the Tesla Dome, was able to secure that kill and get them T1 on the duo side for them.
Yeah, they are in a good spot right now. Definitely not where you want to be if you are Red Dojo, as I still do feel as if Royalty is very in control of this, looking to get this second Fangtooth for themselves as well. Red Dojo is here to try to put some defense here, gonna see if they can accomplish something. Gonna hit that long range rock followed by the lacrosse ball. Not going to be enough to pick any of them up quite yet. Actually, North is going to pop down, so we have a slight numbers advantage for Red Dojo, but it is going to be too late, as Royalty was able to pick that second Fang Tooth up before Red Dojo could get in there to defend.
Yeah, that was a good trade for Royalty. They were able to pick up North there, which is good for Red Dojo, a consolation prize for them. But the fact that now Team Royalty has 2 Fang Tooth, Pablo got some free farm over there on the right side without even having to be at that objective. They still kind of have this huge lead on them, and Red Dojo is going to need a band-aid, or they're going to need a bigger bandage for this if they don't do something about it.
Right, or they're going to need a bigger boat, because Team Royalty can definitely smell the blood in the water, and these boys are sharks, and they are not going to relent. A little bit of a weird spot is going to come out of them here in the mid lane. That is going to be 6 trade in his life for Atomic as well. Tesla Dome is going to drop down. Blue Jay is going to be sitting in a whole lot of that. Gonna have to go full Hulk to try to escape it. Not going to be enough, though, as he is going to fall himself. That is 3 members down for Royalty right now. 3 members down for Red Dojo as well. Just the duo lane surviving on both sides of the map right now. The Revenant Reckoning ult is going to come out. That is going to be enough to pop the Decker. Yatana is going to answer with his own ult as well, but he is a little bit behind, and that is going to be almost the clean ace for Team Royalty, as Atomic was able to spawn just before it happened, but a real clean double kill there for Pablo in the 2v2.
Yeah, they are putting so much pressure on this man Atomic in mid lane. I honestly don't think there hasn't been a rotation that as soon as he spawned, they haven't rotated to. So I think their duo lane is going to have to rotate to mid here, relieve some pressure off Atomic so he can get into these games. Because yes, the fly trap could just be you could just cleanse it at any time, especially this far into the game.
Here it is again. They're on him.
Yep.
They're on him for another time here. Atomic needs to be careful, as Dare is waiting in the wings as well here. Looks like he is going to be able to get out, but yeah, they targeted the man in draft. They're targeting the man on the map, and they are able to identify Atomic is probably the best player on Red Dojo right now. Definitely their moral leader as well. We'll have to get into this in a second, though, as a team fight is starting to pop off. And really quickly, they are just going to be able to get Dare down, so that is going to be a little bit of an advantage for Team Red Dojo right now, as North is a little out of position as well. Gonna hit him with those long range CCs that they have. North's gonna drop the Tesla Dome. They're gonna be able to just walk right through it, though, as North is gonna take a rock to the face, has a hat up on top of Wangle. Six is gonna come in to try to answer and clean this up. North doing a great job of surviving. Blue Jay is gonna fall down as well, as great job from Team Royalty to try to answer this right now. Red Dojo's got quite a few more members down than Royalty does, is out of nowhere, like magicians. They just turn this around. Aka's gonna fall as well, and 100 T6 is on an absolute rampage. Anybody that is unfortunate enough to see this Kalari is spending the next time watching their teammates play this game, as he is in complete control of this map so far. Gonna pick up the second mini prime for himself as well. Let's take a look at it. Let me try to find him. 7 and 2 already on 100 T6, 6 and 2 on Pablo Wazowski as well. And once again, Royalty is just in control of this right now. Up 5 kills, up 2 Fang Teeth, up 2 mini primes, up a bunch of towers. Red Dojo's got to make something happen, and they got to make it happen now.
Yeah, I was a little bit disappointed in that fight that they picked up to go towards the off lane there when they had a free mini prime with all their members there. I think they should have picked up that objective, then looked to go for a team fight. But they chose to go for a fight on that gadget. So they took way too long on that. It was a lot Team Royalty to rotate onto them and for Kalari to clean up there. And what you don't want in this game is a fed Kalari with a bunch of stacks on Malady, I tell you what.
A little bit too late for that one, F6. They're going to have to try to deal with it at this point, as that has already become a reality for it. 100 T6 is an absolute menace on the Invisible Assassin. He is, you know, like I mentioned before, just absolutely writing the book on how you should be a jungler in this game. We saw him win game 1 in mid lane. That is his secondary role for anybody out there wondering. However, it is nowhere near as good as his jungle presence. The man is just a different breed when it comes to this. You do see, you know, that little emblem above his name, 100T. Anybody familiar with that knows the prestige that comes with being able to be a part of the rosters for anything. So obviously a high level gamer coming out there. We're lucky enough to have somebody of his caliber playing this game in its early access stage right now. So thank you to Six and all of the other streamers that are putting the publicity on this game that it is getting and that it deserves. And, you know, it might be enough of a difference here in the jungle for royalties to be able to move into our semifinals, as once again Red Dojo is retreating off the map and he is gonna fall. The Deathmark's gonna pick it up and Wangle is gonna pop, and that is gonna be a numbers advantage for royalty.
Yeah, I think Team Royalty is going to get a 20-minute or prime here, just based off they got the third Fang Tooth just then after they pushed Red Dojo out of their own red jungle by just full man rotations into there and just had them running away. They were able to pick up that Fang Tooth, and they just got to pick on Wangle there. They have so much pressure on this map right now. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, Pablo's gonna pick up Yatan as well, as he is gonna send him into the Nether Realm and then be able to walk right into that tier tower, a little behind enemy lines right now, but the minions are going to walk into the mid lane tier 2, allow him a free and easy exit path. A little bit scary there for Pablo. Probably could have 1v1 pretty much anybody that walked up to him anyways, but he will happily retreat, get back into his fountain, fill up his pockets with some, or change what is in his pockets for some items, and become even bigger of a menace, as he is currently sitting at 7-2. He's got that Vanquisher finished. He's got that that Terminus finished. Got a little bit more crit chance. Got the short sword, looking really huge. Just a good look at the items. Dare actually going tank. If nobody saw that, Dare has got the Tainted Guard into the Moonboot. So I know our dog is loving that. We've got that combo of ult that we were talking about seeing coming out that black hole into the Tesla Dome. We do have a good opportunity here for Team Red Dojo to potentially turn this around, though, although it does actually look like they are at a numbers disadvantage. Able to steal it, though. See the glowing purple members of Red Dojo gotta have to get out if they're gonna want to be able to take advantage of this. Blue Jay is gonna flash over the wall. Akram is gonna run out as well, so maybe a little bit of life bled in to Red Dojo here, as they are able to get the hunt steal, able to pick that orb prime off, keep them off of their tier 2 towers. Hopefully get some pressure the opposite direction.
Yeah, so they got a really good pickup on the Kalari there to get the jungler out of the way, and since Rampage was still up, he had the smite advantage, and they were able to steal that. Good job on them to be able to get out there and have some fight still left in them to keep going through this. So hopefully they can use the two people with the Orb Prime buff here to just get some more pressure back, get some gold in their pocket to see if they can get for the Primordial Fangtooth fight here.
Yeah, I would really like to see Ak and Blue Jay be surrounded by their other teammates right now, getting a little bit of lane pressure into it here, as we do see third items are beginning to be finished by pretty much everybody at this point, getting very close to like those full core builds that people are looking for before you start like flexing in a couple of items to help with the spot. So getting to even power spots within it, that does favor Red Dojo here, as they do need to try to slow this game down. But Royalty is going to keep that foot on the gas, try to get these two members that have the Orb Prime buff picked, try to start a team fight, try to win it, try to push the base down.
Yeah, at this point, I think Red Dojo just needs to group up together here, ward up, push these T1s, get them down, maybe try to get a T2 or 2 and get themselves back into this game. So hopefully they'll be able to do that. So we'll see what happens.
Right, and we do have we have 4 members sitting in the mid lane right here for Red Dojo. Gonna drop those wards down, try to keep themselves free from Kalari, as they are gonna allow the other member with the Orb Prime buff in Blue Jay try to push it down. We do have 100 T6 waiting in the wings. Looks like Pablo is moving over as well. Blue Jay needs to be careful. He cannot win that 1v2, especially against those two champions, even with the Orb Prime buff at this point, as Pablo is gonna get in behind him. Not looking super great for Blue Jay in this time. Gonna have to try to walk away somehow, as 100 T6 is on him as well, and it does not matter how beefy the Rocky Boy is, he is going to pop to these two if they can catch up to him. It looks like the ult is gonna come through for Revenant, gonna hold him in place a little bit, and just like that, Pablo Azalci is gonna pick up a kill, get some of that Orb Prime buff off of the map for Team Royalty, relinquish some of that pressure, and that is not good for Red Dojo.
Yeah, and the fact that they're still just stuck in this mid lane here, they should have capitalized on that, seeing that there's 3 people on the other side of the map just pushing mid lane and at least get a tier 1 down. to open up the map a little bit more, but they were unfortunately not able to do that, and Royalty was just able to get a free kill and a free pick up there.
Right, and now they are up 10 kills throughout the course right here. They've got 6 more assists total as well. Pretty big CS lead as well, as it looked like they were up around 80 CS as a team. That's worth a couple of kills itself. I believe that equates to about 4 or 5 kills as well. So really big gold advantage starting to come out. Still have 3 Fang Teeth up on them as well. So they've got that 8% bonus to their damages and to their armors as well. And that is going to help them be able to get through these front lines, smash some of these people down, continue to poke them out the way that they are with this triple mage comp that Royalty has elected into in this game.
Yeah, and you can see there they just got zoned off by one single gadget when they try to come through that choke point there. It looks like there's a big team fight coming out, but Gideon just kind of portaled away. They're not trying to engage on anything here.
And not quite the target they're looking for there in the Gideon.
Yeah, no, and they're looking pretty low. If I was Team Royalty, I'll just be going straight for this Primordial Fang at this point. I mean, there's really not much Red Dojo can do with that many people with low health and already backing.
Right. I also know that they are winning most of the team fights that are happening right now, so they are definitely in control of what it is. And just like that, the Prophet F6 is aware of where people should be at in a macro sense. Gonna start this Primordial Fang up for it. Gonna blast it down before Red Dojo's even able to get a peek at it. So definitely not what you want to see if you are a fan of this organization in Red Dojo. The Royalty has got this game right in their hands. It is theirs to lose. They are gonna burn Red Dojo if they get into team fights right now at this 25-minute mark. Look for them to, you know, really pressure this map, try to start a team fight, as it does look like Dare to Care is going to be fending off the members of Red Dojo in mid, as that tier 1 turret is still up at 26 minutes for Team Royalty in mid lane.
Yeah, and then just North and Pablo are just pushing, and they're still in mid, just watching these guys just do whatever they want. Red Dojo has to back. They have to understand what position they're in right now. They need to be at the defensive posture.
Right, they're gonna go in. North was taking a lot of that tower, so they are gonna be able to get that pick off onto. Pablo's in a little bit of a bad position as well, but gonna flash forward. The Decker ult is gonna land perfectly in the center, and that is gonna be another kill picked up. Pablo is gonna get picked off, and that is great for Red Dojo, but it still cost them an inhibitor over in the duo side of the map. So a lot of pressure going to be coming out from Royalties right now, but those were 2 pretty big bounties for the side of Red Dojo. Gonna be able to potentially finish some items up with what they were able to get for killing Pablo, as the Orb Prime buff is starting to spawn as well, and we still have 22 seconds before that Revenant is going to be back on the map.
Yeah, if I was Red Dojo right now, my biggest bet right now is to go to that Orb Prime, force that fight there, get some wards down, and try and turn this advantage for yourself while the gadget is running towards you. But
and they got to start it because Pablo's about to spawn. This is not great for them. They need to get into this pit, try to maybe even get a fight, but it's a little too late right now, as Pablo should be around pretty soon. Flytrap is going to come out and get Dare, but she's going to flash out into safety. Wangle's going to follow up with the Slither, but it's not going to be enough to catch anybody. Seismic Assault is going to knock him up, and now Red Dojo is on the retreat, as Pablo has shown up to the fight. North is here as well. Black Hole's going to go a little wide on this one, but once again, it is Red Dojo creeping back into their own base in retreat. So they waited a little bit of hesitation, not able to pull that trigger, and then boom, the members of Royalty are able to show up. Itan's actually going to fall on the side of Red Dojo as well, and now Royalty's got the pressure to take this Orb Prime.
Yeah, they need to contest this Orb Prime here, or they 100% lose based off of just the inhibitor already being down them so far.
6
ahead.
is so low. 100 T6 on the Kalari is very low, a very squishy champion.
And they're able to steal it once again with the Blue Jay. They should be able to turn this fight around. And looking at Pablo with his ult down, Seismic with his ult again. They should just back out here, retreat, and kind of just group up as Red Dojo. There's a great steal from Blue Jay himself, just to be able to be in there and just with the higher IQ play of like, hey, I have a better smite than you.
Blue Jay like a thief in the night, gonna come through, see that Kalari was low, see that it was gonna get popped, able to jump in there, and that is not 1 but 2 Orb Prime steals by my man Blue Jay over here, trying to let everybody know that he is no slouch as well. Several more members alive on Red Dojo. than before with this Orb Prime buff as well. Maybe able to stop a little bit of the pressure coming out of Royalty, but they still have an absolute mountain to climb if they want to win this game.
Oh, like Miley Cyrus said, it's going to be a climb, but hey, I believe Red Dojo, with that steal on the Orb Prime, there's going to be able to use that and pressure out the map. They just have to go into maybe a 1-3-1 or just even a 2-3 and just kind of just push out 2 lanes. Make sure you at least have somebody with you to kind of deal with that Kalari and get pressure on this map. And I don't think they should be fighting here. Like I said before, I think they should just be pushing lanes, trying to get pressure, get away from that team fight, because Team Royalty is still big no matter how much you have on this Prime game.
Yeah, I do believe that Team Royalty still is in a combat advantage over Red Dojo right now. I would like to be seeing them try to use this for a little bit of macro pressure. As you see, even Wangle is absolutely getting smashed right here with these resistances. Another thing that they need to be mindful of is they do have this for less than people are used to, because they do not have a single Fangtooth right now. So they are going to only get it for 2 minutes as opposed to the 3. And just like we are saying, both Akram and Wangle are going to get popped in that fight. So that's exactly what Royalty is looking to do. They did get a good little engage down there onto the Kalari, but they're going to have to walk back through the Tesla Dome as they don't have enough to quite finish him off. Pablo Wazowski also pressuring in the mid lane. And, you know, you wouldn't be able to tell that Red Dojo is the team that has the wave pushing buff right now, because that's going to be their tier 2 falling down in mid lane. And still, Royalty has their tier 1.
Yeah, I understood why Wangle was trying to be over there to stop that Primordial Fangtooth from being taken, but you have the Orb Prime buff here. You want to pressure out the map. Take what you can get. Yes, you have the Orb Prime buff, but it's not going to help you too much against these guys because they are still big. So utilize that buff and push out lanes, but they were unable to capitalize with that buff. So they went for a team fight and they lost once again there. And free Primordial Fang for Team Loyalty here to put them ahead. Just leave a little bit more.
Free indeed, as not a single member of the dojo can be seen on this side of the river even. So that's going to be another big combat advantage going over there on to the side of Team Royalty. I believe the 32-minute mark is where the combat stats for Primal Fangtooth surpass the 20% bonus that you get from Orb Prime. So right around here, that is exactly what they are looking to do. Definitely going to be able to stop, as it looks like the Orb Prime buff is off of all members of Red Dojo as well. So once again, they are going to have to try to join the Turtle Club, see that they can do anything they can to keep Royalty from smashing their base here, keep them out of here, keep themselves alive in this tournament, working towards our $1,000 prize pool today.
Yeah, they're going to be looking for a big ult from the Fae here, and hopefully they can capitalize on it with that Decker Cage and kind of just keep them in one place and try and blow them up even though they're behind. So hopefully we can see a big Fae ult to turn this around, especially with the longer cooldown timers.
Is going to be hard. Liberator is back up on Pablo at this point as well, so gonna have to try to burn that before we can drop the fly trap from Atomic as well. Gonna have to be calculated. They do have, like I mentioned before, that Gilbert Arenas range, though. They can hit him with a rock, they can hit him with a crossball, try to get in there, try to make him burn it early so that maybe we can see an aggressive flash out of Atomic into a fly trap. I'm not exactly sure right now, but you gotta try something.
Yeah, they have to do something. They're in between a rock and a hard place right now, and they just need to figure out how to get out of this spot.
Right, and the pressure is just going to continue to come out of Royalty. The wave clear that they have put together with this triple mage composition is just insane, and the Decker is going to fall just like that, die to the Primal Fang burn, and they need to be careful here on Red Dojo as the rest of Royalty is starting to push in here. Gonna take 2 inhibs down from them, look to move over, potentially take that off lane one as well, as the base for Red Dojo is starting to fall and crumble.
Yeah, you see that bleed just taking people away. That true damage is just so unreal, especially in the late game. You're just like, hey, nobody's even near me. What's killed me? And then there it is, that Primordial Fangtooth just biting at you, nipping at your tail, right? So that combo they have with the obscene Kalari with Malady and her Eve just bursting out is just ridiculous at this point in the game. So honestly, there's not much that they can do here but turtle. They're going to have to defend that last inhib while trying to push out waves. Maybe Blue Jay can get another steal here on this Orb Prime since Primordial Fangtooth has run out, and maybe they can actually capitalize this time with it, but we'll definitely have to see how the road goes on this one.
Right. I think it might take more than just stealing another Orb Prime. I think that they're going to have to win a fight after winning or stealing an Orb Prime or stealing some sort of buff from them. As if the members of Team Royalty aren't off the map, it doesn't seem to matter. There doesn't seem to be anything Red Dojo can do at this point in the game without a complete team wipe coming over there. Ooh, and Hunter T6 is just sitting up there, posed and composed, waiting for somebody to walk up, see if he can slip them down really quick, as it looks like Royalty is actually trying to just bait this Orb Prime, know that they're winning the team fights as it stands anyways, no need to risk another one potentially getting stolen here, as they are just going to try to strong arm them back into their own blue side jungle.
Yeah, so the Claw just sitting up there is just a little bit disrespectful at this point, to be honest. But they do not want to start it for sure because they've already lost two. Big Gideon coming off the top here to be able to put a lot of pressure onto Red Dojo. Two of them fall on 60-second cooldown timers. They're trying to retreat. Blue Jay looks like he's going to go down to 100 here with the blink coming out, but I don't think it's quite. Yes, it is.
Deathmark's not on him. That should be able to be Blue Jay surviving as long as he can avoid these daggers. But no, that's going to be enough. Blue Jay is going to get popped. We're going to throw a rock back at him, but it isn't going to make a difference as 100 T6 and Royalty is on to the core, taking a whole lot of damage. But here come the reinforcements, and that is going to be the clean sweep. That is going to be the series. We have our first semi-finalist of the day in Team Royalty.
Team Royalty takes it. Game two. Man, what a actual game from them. It's game two here. I think they ran the entire map the entire time here. Other than the two mini or prime steals from Blue Jay the GOAT. But man, what a game from Team Royalty. They came out, they showed up, and they put out.
Very clean performance. They are looking like what a whole lot of people suspected they were coming into this tournament, which is potentially the second best North American team, maybe even potentially the first. I've heard a whole lot of the Professor's boys are a little bit worried about them. They've been doing a whole lot of scrimming. I've been watching a whole lot of them live. A whole lot of warnings have been put out about Team Royalty and what they are able to do. They're trying to show that it was a fluke that they became our 5 seed and that they dropped that game to Rogue during our group play. I cannot wait for our first semifinals, which we will have after this short 2-minute break.
Yeah, definitely great job, great team coming out of the woodworks, and I can't wait to see what they do for the rest of this tournament.